Welcome to Face to Face, the program
that frontally discusses
political and social issues in Nigeria. The weekly program brought to you on Wednesday by 6 p.m. Nigerian time, anchored by Prince Ewemade Concourse, powered by GCSDN.
Join us.
Good evening to all our wonderful viewers all over the world, and welcome to this edition of Face to Face program. Our today's topic is what achievement can be attributed to the interim president Bola Tinubu during the last 4 months and 5 days in office. Many Nigerians have expressed concern about the escalating prices of food and other commodities since the new interim president assumed office. The exchange rate to a dollar is between $1 to 1,000 over 1,100, and to pounds is over pounds to 1,230. Thereabout, depends on where you're getting your exchange rate from. The situation is really alarming. So this is the topic that we are going to discuss today. You, our viewers all over the world, you are also part of this program. You can send us your comment, and we'll gladly read your comment out to other audience to also weigh in as well. But before I'm going to have a guest, but before they come into the studio, I'm going to play a video clip which shows the first 100 days of this interim president in office, what they think he has achieved, that in their own opinion. You know, there's always a two sides to a story. We also have our own side. So let's just watch this clip before we proceed further.
The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare has also been assigned. There's also a Ministry of Petroleum Gas, which is different from the Ministry of Petroleum Oil, to achieve the president's goal for the use of compressed natural gas as an alternative to petrol. Of course, you know, the Ministry of Youth has now been separated from the Ministry of Sports. So we have the Minister of Sports, but the jostle is on for who will become the next Minister of Youth and Development. And that has continued to generate reactions from Nigerians. A political support group has rallied support for the appointment of its national convener, Shola Olofin, as Minister of Youth Affairs. Justifying the call at the press briefing, they pointed that while the Bola Tinubu presidency was about 92 days old, few appointments have been made, and Ekiti got one slot of ministerial appointment. The listed part of the criteria for who qualifies as minister to include political, regional, and ethnic balancing, as well as the contributions of potential appointees to the electioneering campaigns and the eventual success of the APC at the election.
Attention business owners. If you're a business owner, you can get free access to this book, 77 Ways to Get More Customers. This book sells for $20 or pounds on Amazon. I want to give you immediate free access to the online version, because in this economy, there is nothing more urgent or important than getting customers. And what most business owners don't realize is there are 77 ways to get customers into your business, but most only use one or two. For example, number one, social media. You've got to be using
the president and the Nigerian youth can trust. It will protect the interests of the party and that of the Nigerian youth at large. The second reason why we are endorsing Honorable Shola Olofin as the Minister of Youth Affairs is a young himself. He's a young man. He is a dependable member of the youth constituency and part of the group that proposed the Not Too Young to Run bill, which has been passed to law today in Nigeria. The third reason why we are endorsing the Honorable Shola Olofin to be appointed as Minister of Youth Affairs is that he is a combination of brain, compassion, competent, character, and sound leadership quality.
So everyone has an idea of who should be Minister of Youth, and that's
Why while just showing a little bit of the video clip, one of our guests just joined us in the studio. Let me bring him over so you can. Hello, sir. Good evening to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon from here. It's
Thank you.
nice to be with you, and good afternoon to the audience listening home wherever you are.
Thank you so much. Before you came in, I just quickly summarize the program for today for our audience all over the world. Our program for today, the topic for today is what achievement can be attributed to the interim president Bola Tinubu during the last 4 months and 5 days today in office. There are quite a lot of speculation in different corners, but again, the reality on ground is quite different. Like before he came into office, dollar was not up to 1,000 naira. I think dollar was between up to 500 or something thereabout. But since he assumed office, the dollar has skyrocketed. Today, I think I'm getting some noise from your background there. Today, the exchange rate for dollar is over $1 to over 1,100 naira, while the pounds is £1 to 1,102, 230 thereabout. Depends on where you're getting your exchange rate. So my first question to you today, sir, is uh, have there been any significant advancement since the new interim president assumed office? If so, could you please explain or elaborate on this to our audience? There has been any changes since he assumed office? Before he took over, we know the situation of things in Nigeria, and since he has been in office, we also know the difference. And so, what do you have to say about that, sir?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't like to use that word interim president. That is something that you and I or anybody out there cannot say. He is actually elected president pending when there's any other resolution, to whatever litigation is going on. So he's not an appointed interim president anyway. Well, with that being said, coming to your question, if there has been any significant a change since he assumed power, that is another thing I cannot actually talk about here because, first of all, his agenda, I don't really know. We do not know. Most of us don't even know what his agenda is. But all we know that he has been sworn in and he has taken over, like you said, it's been about 4 months since he assumed duty. And he's so far, his tenure is characterized with litigation here and there, which is still ongoing. But at the same time, he has been able to appoint ministers, to form his executive. And some of the ministers we are seeing that as they have gone to work, we are seeing actions from the side of the FCT minister and the minister of works. Though we haven't heard much about the other ministers that he appointed, and then, I mean, the money when it comes to the dollar and naira uh, issue, I don't think any president has control over that because if you remember this, during Buhari administration, people thought it was Buhari And now Buhari has gone, the dollar keep going. I mean, the naira keep going down against the dollar. So I don't know whether he is the cause of that particular issue right there. I cannot say that either. I believe that is driven by the economy or the GDP. I understand he's the chief. I mean, he's the president, commander in chief of the armed forces. Basically, everything ends at his desk. So, and you remember there has been some issues also that border with the central bank of Nigeria. So and then there's kind of changes going on with that. The changes that is going on with the central bank, we don't know whether those are responsible for what is going on with the naira and the dollar against the dollar. So basically, it is hard to say that he hasn't achieved anything else or he has achieved something. I don't know whether I am right or wrong about that. So we just heard that the central bank, which has been kind of be left vacant for the issue regarding the governor of the central bank, Emefiele, I think they just got replacement. So I would say while the litigation is going on against the president, Nigeria should just be patient. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We cannot do anything else at the moment. We can't take laws into our hands. We're just going to
Thank
watch
you.
the litigation, settled. So whichever way you go, there we can now say something. Nigerians can now react.
Thank you so much. We always value our guests' contribution or opinion because on this program we always speak our mind. We don't hush our mouth for any reason. We speak our mind, and everybody is also entitled to their own opinion. On this program, I refer to him as interim government because this coalition, we do not accept we have not accepted Bola Tinubu as the president of Nigeria, considering the fact on how he came into office. You and I know very well, and also the case is still before the Supreme Court of Nigeria. So automatically, we believe that is just there temporary pending the decision of the Supreme Court. That is on that. Then secondly, if you say, because I disagree with some of the things you just said, if you say that the problem of the dollar going up has nothing to do with the president, the current interim president, that I disagree. And the reason is that as the chief commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the interim president, every policy that it makes affect the dollar. Dollar doesn't just go up. Dollar doesn't just go up unnecessarily. It's the policy of the government. That's what makes the dollar to go up. For example, if you importing so much and you are not exporting back, then your currency is going to go down while the other currency is going to go up. This is simple mathematics. So he's the one in charge at the moment. So whatever happened in Nigeria today, is the one to take the responsibility because it's key policy. One of the key policy that made the dollar to go up was the removal of the fuel subsidy during the inauguration speech. It was from that very day everything went up. The price of food. People are suffering in Nigeria as we speak. People are suffering because of his careless policy. So, in my own opinion, he has not done nothing, but it just added more problem to the problem of Nigerians because people were crying over the last 8 years of the previous administration. that the government was clueless. This one is even more clueless, to be honest with you. This one is even more clueless. He has been in office for 4 months, and look at what's going on. For the first time in modern history of Nigeria, dollar is sitting at 1,000 plus per $1, and the pounds is sitting over $1,130, 30 naira per pounds, per £1. So it's the policy of the government that is making all these things to go up. I know you will agree with me on that. It's the policy of the government. If you have good policy in place, then I don't think the dollar is going to go anywhere. Just like, let me take you back a little bit. When Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, he had a good key economic policy. You saw the way things were going. But yeah, there were a lot of corruption and everything during his tenure, but things were at minima compared to today. Dollar was between 157 to 197 maximum. Bag of rice was sold for 7,000 naira. Bag of milk was sold for 1,000 to 1,500. But you know how much is a bag of milk today? It's over almost 5,000 naira. You know how much is a bag of rice? Locally made rice is sold for from 50,000 naira as we speak. So the key policy of this government is not working for Nigeria. So let me move on to my next
I
point.
agree with you. If I become in once again,
That's
uh,
fine.
all that you said is okay, but I believe we talked about this the last time. Um, we talked about the fuel. His proclamation on the very first day he assumed duty. You know, he assumed the position of president in this country. We talked about that the last time on this show. Now it is too premature for us to actually, you know, judge him based on that. The pronouncement of the fuel removal of the fuel subsidy actually has affected a lot of things. The people are actually suffering. It has affected a lot of sectors of the economy and the governance. So we understand that the people are suffering. Now, talking about the valuation of naira and all that stuff, yes, it may be part of it. It may be part of it. But again, like I said, it is just too premature for us to judge the government. Government is just about 4 months old. I am not saying that I'm in support of the President Bola Tinubu. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, that we allowed it. When he was sworn in, there was nothing. We did not revolt. So we allowed that swearing in to take place. And we are still watching. Like you said, the investigation that is going on, we are watching all that. So the major problem we have at the moment is the removal of the fuel subsidy, which we don't even know whether there has been fuel subsidy or not. So we don't really know that. There's no proof that there was actually fuel subsidy or there's a removal. So we cannot even tell because the elite has always deceived the people. Our people have been so much deception. They have been so deceived, and because we have no much to say because they have impoverished the people, and now using divide and rule. So so many things is going on. I am not in support of what is going on or his policy or something. But all I believe, like I said the last time, we are not even sure if there was any fuel subsidy or a removal. So those are I still count those ones as scam because we don't even know. There's nobody that has come out with adequate explanation to the people. No, we don't even know what is going on. All we hear is that there is fuel subsidy. Then the next day they said they remove the fuel subsidy. Do we know what is going on? No, the common man doesn't even know. Only them know. Tomorrow yesterday they told us, oh, they remove a Emefiele. So here's the problem. Now they are swearing other people. And the same people are this, it's a cycle. They just recycle and recycle and recycle. That is what is killing the country. Until we have reasonable change, happy in that country, it's gonna be the same, brother. It's gonna be the same. That's my
Wow.
own opinion.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Of course, you are entitled to your own opinion, but I want to address one of the things you just said as well. You see, when you talk about 4 months and 5 days is not enough to judge any government. I beg to disagree with that because the reason is that if you look at some of these developed country, they always estry their first 100 days in office, and you see the blueprint of the direction that the government is heading towards or heading to. You will see there, you will see with the footprint, whatever they have on ground with first 100 days, that will give you the direction of where they are heading to. But in the case of this man, of this interim president, Bola Tinubu, the first 100 days that the history, that his own administration did an history, for me, I don't, there's nothing to pick out of there. Because this is somebody who said he was coming under the pretext of renew hope, was coming under the pretext of renew hope. Renew hope means that I mean, people who have something to hope for. But right now, Nigerians, they do not have anything to hope for. The reason is that when he came into office, he said he was prepared. Okay? He said he was prepared when he came into office. He said he's going to get the best brain. We saw what happened when he came to Chatham House. You take that question, you take that question. He said he was prepared. Someone that was prepared to come into the office, the first 100 days would determine where they are going. It's already over 100 days. We are 4 months and 5 days today that he has been in office. The first disastrous mistake he made was the announcement of the fuel subsidy removal. Whether it was a scam or not, but that triggered a lot of things in Nigeria. That triggered mass inflation. By just saying it, I have removed fuel subsidy. That triggered mass inflation. Transportation became so high that people could no longer afford it. If a government that is reasonable or sensible, if you coming into if you want to remove fuel subsidy, before the announcement of that subsidy, you would have already put in place a palliative measure that will benefit the average people, the commoner, the less privileged, the downtrodden in the society. What will benefit them? It should have been a palliative measure. So there was nothing. It just came on the air. Maybe it was a slip of tongue. I removed the palliative, removed the first subsidy. Yeah, we all know that first subsidy has always been a scam. There are some cabal who just recycle, do invoice and make money from those things. They are there, we know. But the removing it, for him to say I remove it, that triggers mass inflation in Nigeria. So, but I don't want us to flog this issue, but because we still have other things to talk about. I just wanted to highlight that so that you also know I have my own opinion. You have my own opinion as well. Yeah, my second question is: do you believe that the interim president decision to remove fuel subsidy, as mentioned in his inaugural speech, was a prudent move?
The student loan?
No. Do you believe that the interim president decision to remove the fuel subsidy during his inaugural speech was a prudent move? Was it a smart move? Yeah.
Okay. That it is prudent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Most times, especially in Africa, African leaders, they make statements, and later on they will say, in fact, they wouldn't even say it, but we all now know that they are all political statements. You mentioned one thing while you were talking, that you said he said he came prepared, and based on what is going on, it looks like he was not, because first of all, we are faulting him for the removal of subsidy, fuel subsidy. He should have actually had some palliative in place that will alleviate the suffering of the people. I agree to that. I agree. So for any government that actually came prepared, those are part of the preparations. Those are part of the preparation, because you're supposed to, you cannot tell me that you are going on a trip, you are going on a trip and you do not have a ticket or whatever, and you say you are going on a trip, that means that trip is going to end up in fiasco, so you're not ready. That's exactly what is going on here. So the idea that he came prepared, as he said, I'm not sure about that when it comes to that fuel subsidy removal. We all faulted him on that he is not supposed. If he was actually ready for that, this palliative is now giving out. He said they are giving out. I don't know whether he gave 5 billion to each state as palliative, and that such money will not get to the hands of the common man. You know that, right? It's not going to get there. If he said if he give 5 billion to each governor, guess what? Those one will see it as they will pray on it. It's just an opportunity for them again to add them to whatever they have been stealing from the people. So the governors will all know that, and I'm saying this boldly. I am not taking anything back. The governors are responsible for whatever is going on in that country today. You all know that. So the palliative he has announced, we have not seen the effect on ground. He announced that, and that has been a while now. Nobody has seen any effect based on that palliative he has given. So we don't even know what's going on, and nobody asks questions. This is another thing that's killing that country. Everybody just keep quiet and allow things to go like that, just like that. Even him, we are all talking about all this litigation. That has nothing to do with questioning, you know, his authority, his policy. We need to question the policy. Not even we are all just looking, watching out for the litigation and all that. But in the meantime, he's a president, and the policies are going on. Nobody's asking questions. So we should ask questions. If we ask questions, we need to hold them accountable. Himself and the governors in particular. Those governors that he has given this palliative to, what questions have we asked them? That the palliative that was given to you, we are not even interested because we know why we don't like the president. But in the meantime, he has given out palliative, and we are not finding out what is going on. We are not holding those he gave the money to accountable. The people are suffering. I'm not worried about the litigation. Honestly, I'm telling you, I am concerned about the welfare of our people in that country. That's my concern. So right now, he has given palliative out. And I just heard again that he has made another policy of increasing the worker's salary by 35,000 naira.
25,000.
I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah,
those are part of the palliatives, right? Do we know if these policies are going to be implemented or not? These are questions. It's all about him alone. It's all about himself, his executive, the legislative, and the judiciary, and how they impact on the people. These are what I'm concerned about. I'm not worried about whether if the litigation go his way, fine. If it doesn't go his way, yeah, we take it from there. But in the meantime, what is going on in the country is that I am concerned that our people are suffering. They are facing untold hardship. They are facing untold hardship as a result of maybe the policy that you just talked about and all that stuff. That's what we need to be concerned about. I'm not concerned about whatever litigation is going on because you know why? In my own personal show, my personal broadcast, not today, even way before the election, I know that we have talked about it, and they can go to YouTube and check them all out. And I'm going to work on it again because why? The people that nominated himself, that nominated Tinubu, nominated Atiku, they are the one that is killing the country. Yes, they saw other competent people right there. They left them because of dollar that they were giving, the bribery that they were giving. If they did not nominate Tinubu today, he probably wouldn't have been the president. You know that, right? Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
So he wouldn't have been the president. Even the Atiku that is fighting here and there, he is not supposed. Look, those people are supposed to have left the corridor. We do not want them. The Nigerians don't want them. So those people have been there forever, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. What is changed, by the way? What is changed? If we actually want to make this change that we're talking about work, then we need to change those people out of the way. They need to get out of the way. Atiku has been contesting election for over 30 years to become the president of the country. So how long is that going to continue? We have a lot of other people. Are they the only one there? That's where we kill the whole thing. If they did not nominate Atiku or Tinubu himself, you see that the election would have been smooth. Everybody would have been happy. They would have voted their conscience. Even though we say we voted our conscience at this time, but it was stolen and all that stuff. We are yet to prove that. That's left for the court to prove. Now, my own point is the root cause of the whole thing is where the whole thing gets started. We messed it up. Those the no Buhari administration was trying to make it open as it is here in the US. That everybody, all Kakari members should vote and nominate who they want. But that didn't happen. They left it in the hands of few people who has now put the country in a big mess. So we need to be very careful when we are talking about this. I understand that yes, it is painful to see that he's there. Everybody thinks that okay, you voted for your own preferred candidate, and some people voted for him and all that stuff. I'm not even going to say who I voted or who I not voted for, but my own is that we should be able to ask questions. Let's ask questions. Ask him as this presidency, what are we doing? The palliative that you said you gave out, who did you give it to? How is it disbursed? All those stuff, those are what we need to be talking about at the moment while we allow the judiciary to do their job.
Thank you so much, my brother. You see, uh, when we talk about the president giving out a palliative, saying, "Oh, I gave 5 billion to each state," and the minimum wage will be increased during his Independence Day speech. He said additional 25,000 will be given to workers for 6 months.
25,000.
25,000
Okay,
will be
okay.
given for 6 months, to augment the hardship. What happened to the initial minimum wage that was passed into law? Are you aware that some states are yet to implement that minimum wage? Now it said on the TV, on paper, that they're going to add additional 25,000. I am telling you, I'm not a prophet of doom, but I'm telling you today that 25,000 was only said on the air. Nobody is going to actually see that 25,000. Is it not the same country that they said they were giving money to market women trader and all that? They were giving 5,000 to Nigerians. Did any of your relative in Nigeria receive 5,000 naira alert on their account? Did
Nope.
any of them? So
Nope.
who did they give them? They give the 5,000 naira to?
Question.
The ghosts, Abi. So it's the
Question.
same. It's the same shenanigan. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like you said, I blame Nigerians for our continued silence. Our silence as a people has brought us to where we are today. We are on our need, begging for God to intervene on Nigeria crisis. Because our silence as a people, most of these things that is going on in Nigeria today, if it dare happen in South Africa, I trust my South African brothers and sisters. They would have been on the street. They would have ousted the government. Until the government resign or go do whatever, they are not leaving the street. But Nigerians, we continue to remain silent. Our people, they are suffering. In the midst of that suffering, they continue to smile. So it is sad that there are young, vibrant Nigeria. There are people with vision that can transform Nigeria, that can make Nigeria an enviable country like Dubai, United States, and the rest. But because of greed and the money, the money back politicians and the my stomach infrastructure, our people will look the other way on election day to cast their vote for the money back politician. So again, we are also the cause of our own problem.
I'm happy
So
you agree to that. Listen to this. See, let me add this one. I'm happy you agree to that as well. You see, all this has been happening. It's not today. It didn't start today. Now, if the president himself is actually ready and he has given out palliative, if it is true that he has given out a palliative, or if he believes he did give palliative out to help the people out to alleviate their suffering, he should ask by now. If the people are silent, like you said, we are silent because of fear. We should all we are all afraid. Oh, if we speak, what will be the outcome? We don't know. This death, this death that you're seeing, all of us are going to go down someday. It may not be the same day. We don't even know when it's going to come. Even the president himself doesn't know when it's going to go down. So why are we afraid? Why can't we just speak out? Now, if he believes that he has given out palliative, so who is the person that he gave it to? He should also hold them accountable. As we are now crying out that, oh, he has done nothing. He should be able to come out to prove that, yes, I gave the money to Mr. A or Mr. B. I gave, and actually, what we know is that whatever the presidency is giving out to states, who does it go to? The governors. And we are not even talking about those. We don't even ask questions. I always use my state as an example. Nobody say nothing. Nobody. All of us are keeping quiet. Oh, if I say it now, the position I'm asking for may not get to me, or it may not. No, no. In my state, I have always said it. The government is irresponsible. They don't do nothing. It is those people who are in the diaspora that support the families back home. Do you know that?
Yes.
If the diaspora cut off their support to the families, oh my God, you won't believe what will be going on, especially in my state, Edo State. I can be bold to say this. What are they doing? Nobody is even asking questions. All we are listening to is, oh, the crisis between the governor and the deputy. Who cares about that? That's their personal problem. What we should be asking is, what are you doing? What are you doing? What I mean with the developer? What are you doing with the people? The people gave you the mandate. Now we should demand. We should demand accountability. What are you doing to help the people who gave you the mandate? The people are suffering. So there's no road, whether federal or state. No roads. Look, in our state is a hub. It's a point where that connects the east, the north, this everywhere. You know what I mean? The west and the south. But guess what? The roads that connect all these areas, you know, uh, there's no road. They are all bad. The federal road.
They are all dead
It is
traps.
pathetic. So these are things that we're talking about. If you are going to Lagos, it's a problem. Going to Abuja is a problem. You are going to like the east through Agbo is a problem. You go to Delta, just forget about it. It's dead trap. Look at what happened, a few days ago or something. That a tanker, caught a fire and roasted, scores. Oh my God! I could not even stand looking at that video that was trending on social media. Because why? Because of the government irresponsibility of the government. That's what. Those are things that the people need. All this giving out money, you are giving out 5,000. You want to give out 5,000 and all that, and you already said it. It will not actually get to the people that is meant to be given. No, it will not get there. And those are not what our people need. No, just give them the infrastructure, fix the economy. The people will be happy. I'm telling you.
Thank
So
you.
others are the
Let me
that
stop you
we
there.
need to, focus on.
Yeah,
Let's
let me
ask.
stop you
Let's
there.
ask them. Let them give, accountability of what we mandated them to do.
Thank you. Our audience all over the world, you are also part of this program. We expect to see your comment on the comment section. But before we go on to the last and the final question, before we round up the program, let me just show a quick video clip on what we Nigerians are going through at the moment, so that.
Where is our Nigeria? Where is our Nigeria when one muduru of rice was 200 naira? Where is our Nigeria when Titus fish was 200 naira? Where is our Nigeria where a bottle of vegetable oil was 200 naira?
Where is our Nigeria where a liter of fuel was 65 naira? Where is our Nigeria where our monthly salary can serve us for a month? Where is our Nigeria when $1 was 165 naira? Where is our Nigeria?
The list goes on and on and on and on. It's very unfortunate today that things have gone way out of hand. Dollar is now standing over 1,000 naira to $1. First time in the history of Nigeria. My people, this present administration has brought even more untold hardship upon the people. He has been in office for 4 months and 5 days. Still, nobody knows the direction of this government. Nobody knows. The first 100 days should have been able to determine the pathway for Nigeria as a country, where the pilot of the country of the ship, which is the interim president, is taking us to. Are we going towards El Dorado or we are going towards the dead end? But from the look of things, you don't need to be a prophet of doom or a soothsayer to be able to predict what is going to be before the citizens of Nigeria. Just like what the previous predecessor, General Muhammadu Buhari did. 8 years of cries, sorrow, and tears. That's all we witnessed for 8 years of that past administration. And my prayer is that we shouldn't experience the same. Nigerians should not experience the same tears and sorrow under this leader, under the interim government. And last and final question to you, my brother. What lessons should Nigerians learn from politicians who make grandiose promises similar to the one made by the current interim president during campaign season? You can add, just use it as your closing statement.
Okay. Well, thank you, my brother. Thank you, viewers at home. Um, there's no other thing to it. There's no other thing to it. Your question is something that it has been there. It's standard. Nigerians, when during campaign, they come up with the same campaign slogan that we have heard over 60 years or something, It's the same slogan. And people buy into it. They lie. They deceive the people. Or when I come, I'm going to fix air condition on the air. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's about time for us to know that these are scams. So all those campaign slogans that they give, it's about time for us to know. We should, according to what they say in Nigeria, shine our eyes. Our focus should be at these people, they are coming again, especially we all know that these same people are being recycled and recycled over and over and over again. There's no end to it. So the problem is we should stand our ground. I've always said it. The youth should make sure that they participate in active politics so that we can weed out these old folks that has been deceiving us and putting our life through untold hardship. That's all we need to do. If we weed them out and we do not recycle them into the system again, there will be some, significant change that we expect to happen. So I advise all Nigerians today, as my closing remark, that we should be patient with the judiciary or whatever. If there's a timetable to it, let's be patient. Whatever happens, then we should take it in good faith because it's all of our fault, including me. It's all our fault because we are those that are sitting, folding our hands without saying anything. Without saying anything, we are seeing that we are very fearful people. Yes, like you said, if it happen in other countries, by now everybody will be in the street. They will take to the street. But Nigerians, we just back. We back, but we cannot back. That's the thing. We can't back. We back. We just say all this in the comfort of our homes. Nobody will be bold to actually come out to ask questions, to seek, accountability from the government. That's our problem. Until we fix all that, it's going to be the same. My advice now to everybody is please, 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 wake up. Let's wake up from our slumber. Let's ask questions. Let's speak the truth to power. That's the only way we can redeem ourselves from the suffering.
Thank you so much, my brother. It's always nice to have you here on my program. My fellow Nigerians, you see, during the last 4 months and 5 days of this present administration, there has not been any single blueprint showing to us Nigerians that this is the path that we are to follow. It's like the blind leading the blind. That is my opinion, and I have the right to it. It's like the blind leading the blind. So, fellow Nigerians, you need to wake up. Your silence as a people has kept you where you are today. We cannot continue to remain silent with the kind of situation we have today at hand in Nigeria. You cannot afford to remain silent. You must speak, because all die now die, according to our people. All die now die. But you want to die for a good cause. Those who fought for our independence, they struggled so hard. Some of them went to jail. Some of them were charged for treason. Those who fought for our independence. Some of them went to jail. They were charged for treason because they were rising up. They were speaking at any given opportunity. But what do you want to be remembered for, my fellow Nigerians? What do you want to be remembered for? Those who remain silent in the midst of injustice, or those who rose above all odds and say, I must add my voice to the situation that is happening in my father's land? If we do not do this, the next generations of Nigeria might not have anything left for them, because the country is being mortgaged as we speak. Loans is being taken here and there with no defined pathway to repay those loans back. Every Nigerian as of today, every Nigerian, whether you like it or not, whether you live east, west, north, anywhere, any part of the country, any part of the globe, you are owing China. If you don't know, you are owing China. As long as you are in Nigeria, you are owing China. As long as you are in Nigeria, you are owing Russia. All the loan owing India, Brazil, the loan that is being taken on the name of Nigerians, on the name of the country, but it's being looted with their own name. So my brothers and sisters, let's rise up. The government has failed us. 4 months, 5 days. Still, we don't know where we are heading to. We pray that God will direct our path. Until next time, same time, same place, next week, remain blessed. My brother, thank you for being a part of this program.
Thank you so much. God bless you.